Hello, Army of Light, Earth Division, the boots on the ground. It's Shauna L. Francis. Today is Saturday, March 18th, 2023. We are back. We're back with Queen Elizabeth today. And guys, it only took an hour to get through 1,224 words with her today. I'm so actually very relieved, to be quite honest. I knew we'd work through this, but in the meantime, it's like, okay, guys, we can do this. And I know all of you pooling all your love, support, and intentions toward clearing this field. Thank you so much. This is what we're doing is real. This is not make-believe. This is not figments of our imagination. This is true energy work that we're doing. It's true light work. So I'm just thrilled. I'm so thrilled. Really working in tandem with everybody on the other side of the veil. I had so many of you emailing me such nice, beautiful, supportive emails. Thank you for that. Thanks for all your comments here on YouTube, all your likes. Our family's growing. I'm so happy. So Queen Elizabeth today, she talks about the Greys. Remember that we got kind of cut off here 4, 5, 6 days ago, talking about the negative reptilian allegiances. She dishes quite a bit on the Greys, confirmation for a lot of what maybe some of you already know, maybe some new information there. Heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, as a lot of this has been. So I'm really glad that you're here, team. I'm so thankful for you. I want to talk a little bit about what happened. I guess yesterday and then today, getting into this channeling with the Queen today. So yesterday and even the day before, I was working very hard with Melchizedek and then the Galactic Federation of Light. Really, it was Racer, the 8D Arcturian, who was supporting on the side of the GFL. They didn't want me to be speaking out loud as we were working together. Everything had to be just through mental. So I'd get my laptop out and I'd kind of type everything out as it was happening in real time so I could remember what was going on. And that's how it worked out today too with Queen Elizabeth. They said in real time, I don't want to be verbalizing this stuff, but after the fact, like right now, being able to make this video for you guys, it's fine because it's after the fact. Truly, guys, we're in new territory here because this is still happening. I'm ready for whatever wants to come this way. I'm ready. I know you guys are feeling it too. We're ready for this. We can take on anything. Yesterday it was day before yesterday. It was really quite beautiful. All the energy work that came in, really feeling these guys so very closely in my field. It was like lifting my energy field up, like elongating my field. It felt like, outward and then upward, and a lot of pressure like in my skull and kind of in my face, and swirling energy, lights and euphoric feelings, kind of like parts of it would take my breath away. So trying to get me to this new place is that we're at, where we are free from obstruction here. And of course, I'm always saying too, at this point, I will only be speaking with the real Melchizedek, the real Galactic Federation of Light, the real Queen Elizabeth, just setting a very strong intention out there for no imposters, no trickery, no influence, no distraction, nothing that's not real and completely of the light. So I think that's helped as well. Okay, so then today, Melchizedek had asked me, let's give 3 hours for this process moving forward. Pick a time, Shauna, earlier in the day where you could do this every day at the same time. So I'm rearranging my schedule to be able to do that, starting in the morning instead of late afternoon, how I have been doing it. So I sat down today, probably about 10:45, 11 a.m., and not sure what was going to happen, to be honest. And and I set my intentions, of course, said my affirmations and got quiet. And I just felt this lifting again and this expansion and all this love. And visually what came through were, you know, what would be representing all these angels, my seraphim family, the angels, the angelic realm, kind of coming through visually in a way that I'd recognize them as kind of these beautiful etheric beings with flowing bodies and what might look like wings. Of course, I don't think the angels actually have wings, you know, they're not in embodiment, but just this idea. And it was shimmering pinks and golds and whites and silver, and just, I kind of lifted my head and I looked around, and there were thousands of them, thousands of these angels, what seemed to be kind of above me, you know, outside of our atmosphere, for example. And it just made me cry. I just had all these tears flowing, really feeling them so clearly, so beautiful. And then that subsided with so much gratitude, you know, thanking them and telling them all that I love them, thanking them for their help and their support. And then I saw Racer very clearly. And again, Racer is very typical alien looking, tall, lanky, the big black oval eyes are more almond shape, you know, big head kind of coming down to a point here with the face, the mouth and the nose that are tiny, a black tunic type thing. So I'm seeing Racer quite clearly, and he's again doing this, like, okay, let's not talk, but he kind of grabs me and he takes me back into that cave from the halls of Amenti, that image, that big, huge visual of me, you know, being placed on that altar and being killed by the negative reptilians. And I've talked about this experience a few times now on this channel. It was a pivotal moment for me. This is after I decided to go to the light. I left. I've been a traitor now to the reptilians. I've gone to the light. Each lifetime they figure out who I am, because I always come back and I'm working on behalf of the light. This lifetime, I guess, no different. Here I am. So Racer and I sat on the sidelines, over on the side, like undetected by anything. We were watching this in more third person. And I see myself, and again in that lifetime, I'm probably young 20s, a female, long reddish hair, strawberry red hair, freckles, and I'm in an ivory gown, an ivory or white flowing gown. And I look over and I see myself, you know, coming down this stone staircase. And he says to me, Racer says to me, do you see yourself here? You are walking on your own accord, Shauna. They're not dragging you down here. You're walking here. And he says, you're embodying love. Do you feel this? And I kind of watched this from this new angle. And I'm like, I am not at all scared. I am not in distress. I am just in this moment, and I am beaming out love to these beings. And I walk down and I place myself on this altar. And then, of course, awful stuff happens to my body at that point. I don't want to go into that again. But they're like, Shauna, you've been through way worse than what you're going through now. I guess really talking about this negative reptilian influence in the field, and possibly being cut off from our team, possibly being cut off from channeling, being cut off from Queen Elizabeth. His point was just, you've been through way worse, Shauna. You got this. You can handle this. You know, we're all working together as the team. There's nothing that can stop you. I'm like, okay. So that happened today. And again, more tears flowing with that image. It really feels real to me, you know, that whole thing. If you've missed that video, if I remember, I'll try to put it in the description for this video if you want to go back and listen to that. And it seems there's been several of you who have come forward who have said that you remember being there. You have seen that before. This feels familiar to you. So either they're etherically with me as a support team or part of the reptilian folks, which I had been a part of for a very long time, or just in the rocks themselves, just a presence there. So a lot of you have said this is familiar, which is fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Okay, and so I got quiet again. And then in came Melchizedek, clear as a bell. Right here, kind of more in my frontal lobe versus kind of back here, where they normally come through. They're like, Queen Elizabeth is ready, Shauna. Do you think you can hold this focus here in this energy field? I'm like, yes. And she just came in right away. And she says, hello, Shauna, it's Queen Elizabeth. How are you? And I said, great, yay. I've missed you. I said, I'm trying to stay in my knowing and remain optimistic, but this was challenging. I said, I'm so happy you're back. And she's just like, thank you, dear one. Shall we get started? It's like, yeah, let's get started here. I stated a few more intentions about the connection. And she said, thank you, Shauna. Here we go. She said, this is us. In the new era of which we spoke about recently, welcome you, welcome to me, welcome all of us, here we are. Let's continue unabated, free, in delight, in love, completely knowing who and what we are. Yes. Feeling it so deeply today. She said here, the trials and tribulations of late have only helped strengthen my resolve. I'm fully present for this, and like you, Shauna, nothing will stop me from carrying out this work. We are a united team in lockstep doing God's work, and we are unstoppable. We shall always find a way, Shauna. I said yes. Yes. Today, I wish to say what I wanted to say about the negative reptilian alliances, Shauna, finally, she said. And by the way, team, I typed all this. None of this was spoken out loud. So, and again, Melchizedek said, it's, we just don't want this in real time to be spoken out loud because somehow the others are hearing it and thwarting whatever I'm doing in real time. So I typed everything out as it was coming through, which I'm used to doing. I've done it a lot in the last 4.5 years. And I get to just kind of read what was said in real time here this morning. I said, wonderful. Let's talk about these allegiances. She said, these allegiances have been around for a very long time. Some could say this is actually ancient. There is a symbiotic relationship here, also a bit like a host and a parasite, as has been explained previously. So I think what she's talking about here are the reptilians. They form these partnerships and alliances, and slowly but surely they begin to take over their minds, controlling what they're doing, unbeknownst to that person, to that partnership, to that species. So this is how they do it. Expert mind manipulators, energy manipulators. All right. She said the Greys, yes, the Greys. A major partnership to the negative reptilians. Shauna, the Greys come in many forms, and not all are in alignment with this regime. I want to make this point clear, she said. Humans may want to look at all small gray alien beings with big oval eyes as one race. This is not the case. Same with the reptilians. Many, many species across all spectrums of dark to light. Yes, we know this. Okay. The Greys of which I speak are a hybrid of human, artificial, and other alien/off-planet species who could be considered the workhorses of the negative reptilian regime. They do a lot of the dirty work that is needed on the other side of the veil to help bridge the two worlds, this human plane of existence with their off-planet existence. Okay. She continued here. Excuse me. These beings are highly intelligent, highly capable, but firmly under the regime's management and influence. These Greys are produced in lab environments. Part organic, part artificial. Actually, this species is a technological marvel in many ways. There is sentience, consciousness, intelligence. They perform tasks that are in alignment with the regime, but also can be seen as helping the larger community of their species. They don't embody the ruthlessness and coldness of the negative reptilians, Believe this or not, they do seem to care on some level about others. It's not all callous and disconnected from the heart for this group. We had a bit of a pause here, and I was feeling my heart open up, and then I was feeling kind of that heaviness in my chest area, and it was a very swimmy energy feeling. So I just kind of sat with that for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 minutes. And it seemed to me last time that happened, there was some interference going on that cleared up. But anyway, this didn't seem to be the case at all. So I think it's just part of the process. I said, please continue, Elizabeth, when you're ready. And I was crossing my fingers like, okay, I hope she comes back. She said, these grays, while seemingly small and unmenacing compared to their reptilian counterparts, bring a skill set and a level of expertise in genetic manipulation that is unparalleled in this dimension of existence. Extensive genetic testing on human DNA has taken place over many thousands of years, actually, with the Greys at the forefront of this research. The Greys actually hold the genetic blueprints to eradicate cancer and other major health ailments on Earth. They have many of the answers that have been baffling your scientists and your medical doctors regarding disease, aging, vitality, brain power, and even physical strength. Okay. Of course, since these beings are paired up with the negative reptilians, none of this has been made available for the betterment of humanity. In fact, she says, just the opposite. It's because of the Greys that you have seen your food supplies become less and less nutritious over the centuries. This has led to disease, to malnutrition, mental degradation, lethargy, low vitality, and a shortened lifespan, not to mention higher infant mortality rates. Over the many years, she said, farming and raising of food animals on this planet have become increasingly dependent on toxins, poisons through pesticides and through the food chain for the animals, not to mention the deplorable stress and strain that the animals are subjected to each day as part of the food processing cycle. She said, much of this is known and documented. Many of these practices have originated with ideas and technologies from know-how developed by the Greys and inserted or seeded into humans' practices via the hive mind control method. Unfortunately, this isn't surprising. But again, I read this stuff or I hear about it and I think, I really hope this isn't true. But then here I am channeling it directly from Queen Elizabeth. And I trust this source, that this is actually real. She said here, the Greys, of course, haven't stopped with the food chain. They have also been at the root of many debilitating ailments that have caused immense suffering for humans. She said, Shauna, think about stress and how cortisol courses through the body, leaving a trail of mayhem, especially over years and years. Think about diagnoses such as fibromyalgia. Think about people having difficulty sleeping, circadian rhythms out of balance, bodies out of alignment with the natural flow of life, out of step with nature, disconnected from nature in many cases, she said. Shauna, she said, think about the drug addictions. Think about the molecules, the microscopic cocktails that are the building blocks of some of Earth's most potent and devastating substances to the human experience. Even alcohol, she says. So easily for one to become dependent. Notice how extremely prevalent and accepted this substance is across the globe. She says, none of this is by accident. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, humans themselves are not, by and large, responsible for these maladies that plague the planet today. These have been calculated and consciously and deliberately orchestrated by off-planet species who view humanity as their own chattel, to be contained, controlled, and subverted by those who consider themselves to be in ownership of humanity. So I know with the group that we have assembled here right now, the light workers, the army of light, this is all, yeah, we get this, we understand this, we understand that this is probably the case, possibly the case. But there's going to be so many people who this is just going to be, it's going to be new news. It's going to be a foreign idea. It's going to be bombastic, outrageous that we could make this claim that this could be the case. But I love this. It's not humanity in and of ourselves who would have ever have done this to ourselves, that this is really happening because of this negative outside influence. Again, team, so much bigger than what it had seemed to be on the surface. This really, really goes deep. This influence it's massive, right? All right. She said here, the lines that have been drawn, Shauna, are deep and thick. In the negative reptilians' minds, they are the rulers and the owners, and humanity is the product. And of course, this is not the case. This is not the reality. This is a foolhardy delusion based on their own blind narcissism and inflated sense of where they fit in existence. Their blatant and egregious subjugation of humans and other species is now coming to an end. And as has been mentioned, Shauna, their answer to this will be more chaos, more fear tactics, more desperate acts. All futile, she says. She continued here, the most important thing for humanity as a species to know right now is that these are tactics of manipulation, tactics of control and influence, and they don't have any real power unless humanity grants them that power. Getting swept up in these energies, not stepping back and questioning the reality of what is happening, allowing the blinders to stay in place, allowing fear and despair to run rampant without questioning. She said, many will do this, Shauna. Many, many will continue to walk that path. We send them love and compassion. They will be doing the best that they know how with whatever is being presented to them. We hold the light for all, and for those who are ready and have somewhere deep inside themselves decided that they are ready to awaken and ready to take a step forward in their knowing, we shall be here, she said, with open arms. Okay. And then pretty quickly she said, Shauna, this is feeling complete for me today. I said, Elizabeth, thank you. This was wonderful. I'm so grateful. I said, I love you, and we will talk again tomorrow. I said, take care of yourself. And again, that was only about an hour to get through that, which was really, really nice. It allows me to step in and make this video earlier in the day. I'll get this out. Yeah, I'm feeling much more grounded in all of this, feeling, really truly that we're unstoppable. We're going to have these hiccups. This is not going to be the end of what's going on with the negative reptilian retaliation for what we're talking about, for the light that we hold. We pose a real threat to that team. This is why they're paying attention to what we're doing. All right, guys, thanks again. I love each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you're out in the world. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I hope to see you all tomorrow.